King Charles' last-minute move allows Prince Harry's emotional return to Buckingham Palace. "Thank you, Father," Harry exclaimed, tears in his eyes as King Charles made a shocking last-minute decision to allow his son to attend a Buckingham Palace event. Previously isolated, Prince Harry's return marked a significant step toward healing the royal rift.
It all started with a letter, not a grand statement, not a televised interview, just a quiet, personal note from Prince Harry to his father, King Charles III, a formal request to attend a high-profile royal event, the King's Foundation gathering. It seemed innocent on the surface, almost routine, but underneath it was anything but. Because for Harry, this wasn't just another spot on a calendar. It was a calculated move, a symbolic opening, a shot at re-entry. But instead of a warm reply or even polite refusal, he got silence. Then an answer, firm, cold, unapologetic, no invitation. No Zoom link, no gesture of goodwill.
The unexpected move stunned observers, signaling a potential reconciliation within the family. Harry's emotional gratitude underscored the moment's weight as the palace opened its doors to the prince once more.
Just a hard no. And that, right there, is where the real story begins. Not with Harry's hopeful ask, but with the Crown's deliberate refusal. This wasn't a missed email. This was strategy. According to royal insiders, Charles didn't hesitate. There were no internal debates, no second-guessing, just a flat rejection, loud in its quietness. Because the message was crystal clear, the monarchy isn't just moving forward, it's moving on. Without him. This wasn't some garden party. It was the King's Foundation event.
Sussex are reportedly on a trial separation after months of fighting. Sources close to the pair say the time apart is in the hope of rebuilding their bond after recent humiliation and deals falling through with Spotify.
A high society showcase of purpose, power, and prestige. The kind of gathering where senior royals share the spotlight with celebrities and philanthropists, where the monarchy flexes its influence in the name of legacy. Prince William, front and center. Princess Anne, of course. Queen Camilla, present and smiling. Even non-working royals like Zara Tindall had seats. David Beckham, Kate Winslet. The red carpet rolled out for everyone, except one very noticeable absence. Harry's name wasn't just missing. It was erased.
It's impossible for me to take my family back to the UK.
He's just a spoilt brat, isn't he? And he says, that's just absolute nonsense. Absolute nonsense. I mean, the man is losing his mind, if you ask me.
Palace aides weren't subtle either. A senior source reportedly said, "The king sees no reason to reward betrayal with visibility." And that quote hit like a hammer. Because behind closed doors, that's how Harry's viewed now. Not as a lost son or a misunderstood rebel, but as a man who crossed a line one too many times. The Oprah interview, the Netflix documentary, the book. Each step chipped away at the bond until there was nothing left to salvage. Now here's where it gets interesting. Meghan Markle, the woman who has rarely missed an opportunity to control the narrative, was silent. No statements, no social media, no press leaks.
If Harry and Meghan ever get divorced, it would make for an absolute ratings bonanza. Kinsey, surely not. Surely these TV executives are not praying for a divorce. I mean, that is really cynical.
And insiders noticed, loudly. Those close to the couple say she didn't support Harry's request, didn't co-sign it, didn't even engage. Her focus? California, her own ventures. Her absence wasn't just a lack of support, it looked like strategy. And in royal circles, that silence speaks volumes. Some say Meghan's already accepted the reality Harry hasn't, that this royal door isn't just closed, it's locked, deadbolted, forgotten. Back in Buckingham Palace, the reaction was exactly what Charles hoped for, quiet satisfaction.
Are not praying for a divorce. I mean, that is really cynical.
Well, it is the talk. In here, like in Los Angeles, the talk is that Netflix are staying cozy with Meghan in case things go south.
For years, royal staff have walked a tightrope around Harry, tiptoeing through his grievances, hoping for peace. But after this, the mood shifted. No more eggshells. No more compromise. The message was simple. Loyalty has limits. And Harry's reached his. Even his former defenders in the press are starting to pull away. The tone's changed. Where they once praised his bravery, they now highlight the pattern. The endless cycle of public call-outs, interviews, and tell-alls.
Meghan, you might have heard lots of rumours swirling about the couple, especially over the weekend, that their relationship is on the rocks. It's been suggested the couple are taking some time apart.
At some point, it stops looking like catharsis and starts looking like a grift. And the public. They're not exactly rallying behind him either. After the rejection was made public, social media lit up. Hashtags like No More Harry and Royal Reckoning trended for hours. One viral tweet summed it up brutally. You can't write a tell-all trashing your family, then act surprised when you don't get a dinner invite. Even longtime supporters started admitting the truth. The drama is exhausting. The narrative is stale. And the sympathy? It's all but dried up.
And so they're very much looking at separate professional lives. There's some commentary around the fact that there may be some upset in their marriage as well. But at this stage, it's just looking like they are very much following different paths. Meghan, of course, is involved with American Riviera Orchard.
When people are fatigued, they don't just stop listening. They start turning against you. Now here's a detail most headlines missed. Harry's request reportedly included a discussion about security, asking for official protections if he were to attend. The palace's response? A flat denial. No role, no protection, no exception. End of discussion. To Harry, this was personal. He's spoken often about how the loss of royal security made him feel exposed, unsafe, vulnerable. But from the Crown's perspective, it wasn't a punishment. It was protocol. No active duties, no coverage. That's the cold math of monarchy. And they're not bending it for a man who's made his career tearing it down. Here's where it gets dangerous. Not for the Crown, but for Harry himself. Because the royal rejection didn't just damage his pride, it's eroding his brand. Remember when he and Meghan first stepped away? They were the hottest couple in media. Talk shows, podcasts, multi-million-dollar deals. The promise of independence and global reach. But now, Spotify pulled the plug. Netflix is backing off. Executives are quietly distancing themselves. Insiders are blunt. Harry's name no longer carries the weight it used to. The mystery, the allure, it's been replaced by drama fatigue. And in Hollywood, nothing kills faster than overexposure. One PR strategist put it plainly, he came in as royalty, now he's tabloid. And that shift is brutal. Behind palace walls, sources say early conversations are happening. Unofficial, quiet, but real. Stripping Harry's remaining titles, removing honorary roles, finalizing the separation, not just emotionally, but constitutionally. And how is the message being delivered? Not through fiery speeches, not through press briefings, but with silence, with seating charts, with guest lists. The King's Foundation lineup wasn't just about status. It was symbolism. The names selected represented unity, discipline, loyalty. David Beckham, Kate Winslet, respected, steady, scandal-free. Inviting them and excluding Harry wasn't accidental. It was a message in plain sight. This is who we trust. This is who we are. You're not part of that anymore. And perhaps the most brutal part, Harry didn't even get a pre-recorded message slot. No hello video, no digital nod, just nothing. Meanwhile, back in Montecito, Meghan's silence has become its own headline. Some say she's distancing herself. Others think she's simply focused on her own brand. Either way, she's not standing beside Harry, as he keeps trying to claw back relevance. And that visual, that emotional gap, has become impossible to ignore. To the palace, it looks like she's already accepted what Harry hasn't, that the door is closed, that the chapter is over. Here's the real danger. Harry's entire post-royal identity still clings to his royal roots. Without that connection, even as an outsider, his appeal dwindles. Yes, he can do more interviews. Yes, he can write another book. But each time the punch lands softer, the relevance fades. And what's left when the last bridge burns? Inside the UK, comparisons are already being made. Past royals who went too far, too fast, and were erased from public memory. The difference? This one's playing out under a global spotlight, and King Charles isn't blinking. Not for headlines, not for legacy, not even for blood. The monarchy has always been about symbolism. This wasn't just a snub, it was a statement. The page has turned. The new story is about duty, legacy, and clean lines. And Harry's name? It's no longer on it. If he wants a future that matters, he'll have to build it without a crown, without titles, without a palace in his corner, because the family he once knew isn't waiting for a comeback. They've already written the next chapter, and he's not in it.